Здравейте хора, добре дошли в новият ми влог. Днешният влог ще е доста различен и бих казал доста интересен, тъй като ще ви покажа един гост в каналът ми, който идва чак от Англия, британец, който е в България в момента и ситуацията е много интересна. Той ще разкаже малко повече, не искам да издавам още от самото начало, но съответно този човек се казва Елиот. Запознах се с него наскоро, може би преди 2 месеца, тъй като той не е много отдавна в България. И това е един британски предприемач, който има много опит в бизнес сферата, човек, който също така занимава и с менторство, има доста какво да сподели. За мен лично той е един много добър пример, защото той човек не просто който е успешен в сферата на бизнеса, и парите, но също така и човек с ценности, има семейство и мен лично това още повече ме впечатлява. Така че Елиот е много интересна личност, ще ви запозная след малко с него, но в момента отиваме към Екон, защото има една пратка, която искам да взема. Подготвил съм му някаква подарка от Genesis. И също така и в пратката съм сложил малко чорапи за мен, защото чорапите ми се скъсаха. Не си бях взимал чорапи от Genesis буквално от отдавна, от сигурно преди 2 години, така че наскоро изкарахме новата партида, заредихме чорапите отново и си поръчах и за мен да си имам, защото положението иначе е тежко. Чорапите на Genesis са най-добрите, всички други не стават. Без базик, наистина са много добри. В момента съм сани, които падат и супер много ме дразнят. И така, отиваме, взимаме пратката и след това отиваме към мястото, на което Елиот живее, защото ще започнем от там. Ще ни покаже дома си, ще ни разкаже малко за него и също така дочух, че днес ще се избира и кола. Ще ходим до едно представителство, което се намира на Околовръстното в София. Там има доста готини, скъпи коли, така че и на мен ще ми е доста интересно да видя каква кола ще си хареса. И сигурно се надявам да успеем да направим и някакъв тест драйв и аз да се повозя в някаква яка кола. Почти пристигнахме. Отиваме към квартал Бояна, разбира се, на готиното, няма как газарите само тук живеят. Между другото, днес ми се налага да говоря на английски, очевидно, нали защо? Защото все пак човека не знае български, британец все още не е научил български. И да говориш английски с британец си е голямо предизвикателство относно това как ще се представиш. Аз по принцип като цяло последните години не съм говорил много на английски. Знаете, когато живях в чужбина, естествено налагаше ми се да го правя, обаче той е последният човек, с който съм говорил на английски за последните, може би, 3-4 месеца. И това е. Така че, може би няма да се представя в най-добрата светлина с английския си, ама това е положението. Ще видим. И човек, като е британец, както казах, става още по-тегъл. Окей, пристигнахме до дома на Елиот.
Hey! How you doing, buddy?
Here you are.
How are you?
Nice to see you.
Hey
Back
guys.
in Bulgaria.
My favourite place in the world.
You should show us around because as far as I saw on your Instagram stories, you live in a really nice place.
It's not
so
bad.
I want to check it out. Are you up for it?
No, welcome to the penthouse. So, I've not been here, I've been here for about 7 months now. Bulgaria?
7 months?
Yeah, so I've had a place here.
So when did we meet first? Like 2 or 3 months ago?
2 or 3 months ago, yeah. So, I've been coming to Bulgaria for about 2 years for business. But obviously, fell in love with the place and thought, I've got to have a place.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah, I've been coming here on and off 2 years. I've stayed in different hotels, Maranella, Millennium, but I was like, I love Boyana. I visited my, a lot of my staff now are Bulgarian because you'll find out a bit more about me, but I fall in love with Bulgaria and Bulgarians. So I thought I've got to get a place here, and for me, this was perfect. So I come here to clear my head from the noisy UK. Views are amazing, air's clean here, water even tastes good out of the tap.
Yeah, it's actually good for drinking. The water
Really good, really good.
It's fine.
But yeah, this is a big upstairs. I hope it's not too
This
messy.
place looks decent.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
So how do you call that? How do you call such place? It's called penthouse,
It's called
right?
a penthouse. So I've called it the Wise
And what is
penthouse.
penthouse? Because I'm sure that many of the viewers probably don't know.
Yeah, so a penthouse is normally the top floor on any building, and it's normally the kind of premium apartment in
the best
whole,
part.
the best apartment, because you normally get all the top views, you get the most amount of space, because in a building normally on one floor they might separate into different apartments. The penthouse typically has the whole top floor, and they normally have some sort of balcony on the views all around.
So you have the whole top floor.
Yeah, of course, you've got to have the best. I'm not sure how tight it is. This is my this is the bedroom. Not bad, there's no mirror above.
Yeah, That's amazing.
Yeah, the
Huge bedroom.
Yeah, check out this bathroom. Not the tidiest in the world, so literally not good up. Check out the bath.
Oh, the bathroom. So what's the total amount of rooms you have in this place?
Well, it's technically 5 bedrooms. That's 4
5 bedrooms?
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
But we're using some as an office space and everything else, so I'll show you some of the other ones.
Okay.
Have a look. Basically, I wanted a space where if family come, or I have people that come to visit me on business, because not everyone's from the UK, because a lot of people come from the UK, I needed a place to host everyone, and that's what I like to be a host. For me, when I build a hub, I want to have the door being open to everyone, my family. My family is also my people that work for me, my close friends, and also my family.
Okay.
That's
So
always
I'll come as well for sure.
Of course,
At
you're
least
always
one day.
welcome. It's always welcome. The road noise is low, so you're 15 minutes from the city, but you have all access to the quiet in the mountains.
That's why the rich people choose Guyana and they're
Well, you tell me, I don't know. And then this is what I've got, a bit of an office space at the moment.
And you have 4 bathrooms, right? 4 bathrooms in
And
total.
there's another downstairs bathroom as well, so.
5 in total.
Yeah.
Crazy.
This is another suite in here, so it's all plenty of room.
I see. So basically you can get lost.
You can get lost in space. Good. And that's the good thing about penthouses, normally they're quite a bit bigger, so you get more space. And when I'm here with my kids, you need a bit more space, because they run around like crazy kids, which they should do. They're young, they want to have fun. Okay?
So something we should definitely tell the viewers is that you have a family, you have a wife, you have 2 kids,
boys,
right?
yeah, 2 boys,
2
4 and 2.
Okay.
They're
This
great.
what I like about you is that you're not only successful in money and in business, but you also have family, and this is something I look up to always, because for me it's not just important to have money, but to also have values, core values, and family around you, because if you don't have family in the long run, I think that you cannot be fully successful, at least for most of the people. Some people probably don't want family and it's not such important for them.
I think a lot of people mistake the fact that they think they need to have no ties, no attachments to be able to build a business and empire when they're young. But what we neglect to realize is that what's all this money and wealth going to do if you've got no one to share it with? Your family unit is the thing that you end up doing it for. Since I've had kids, my drive to be more successful has been so much bigger.
Exactly.
It's given me an extra gear, more fuel. I had that before, but imagine adding people that you love, that depend on you, that you can't let down. It's easier to let yourself down than your kids. So your drive, your tenacity, you become a better businessman. And also, if you can't juggle the stresses of a family and a business, you're going to struggle to run a business. Businesses are hard, right? It's not easy. How difficult has it been for you to build your business? Anyone that thinks building a business is easy is lying to themselves. If you learn to juggle the two, it gives you discipline, it gives you stability, it gives you structure, it gives you focus. A family is the best thing that ever happened to me. It matured me, I then was working towards a bigger picture than just money. I had legacy to leave, I have to be a good role model for my kids.
Exactly.
So then as a businessman, you become better. It's actually helped me. And like I literally can't think of anything better than people actually building a family unit. Society and social media has pushed people so far away from that. And I actually want to tell people, no, it's not easy. It's not easy, it's very difficult juggling a family. But the best things in life.
Thank you for saying that, because for me it's really important. It's one of the most important parts of my life, and I put a lot of focus on that. My wife and our future kids, as you already know.
Congrats.
Yeah,
Congrats.
we are about to have a kid this year, so what you're saying is really inspirational for me. Probably I still don't understand the full thing with having kids, but when it comes, I'll probably understand it.
You will, you will. You won't grasp it until you love something more than you could possibly ever love yourself. So one thing that I've always dreamed of doing is having different houses, and I have all of my stuff there. So when I come to Bulgaria now, all I do is I just bring my laptop. Everything's here. My gym membership's here. All my clothes are here. My food is in the fridge. Like, I have everything ready to go. I love just being able to turn up anywhere in the world and have my structure. So for me, I'm very, very busy. My head is very chaotic. I don't want to have to think about going to a hotel, where am I going to go out to eat, this and that. I just want to turn up and feel at home and have everything in place and back into the zone. I'm straight at work.
This sounds like freedom.
That's freedom to me. For
you
me,
don't have to bring 2 big suitcases with all your stuff and move to hotels.
well, when people think freedom is moving around the world, right, and like just backpacking or going on holiday, I feel very, very uncomfortable when I'm not structured. Freedom to me is being able to choose to be structured wherever I want. And I love my work, I love my life, and I like to feel like I have a sense of organisation within that. And because I can have places around the world where I want to be, I can have that all there. Then I'm free to go to those places and I can just get back into my routine straight away and I feel good. There's nothing worse than going away for a couple of weeks and feeling like you're not in control. That's not freedom either.
I also don't like. Some people like it to be such type of person that travels almost every week and don't have a routine. But for me, the routine is really important.
How are you going to stay in shape and build a business without having routine and structure?
Exactly.
It's impossible. It's actually impossible. If you're not doing it, someone else in your team has to. But it's very difficult to run anything successful in your life without having some sort of structure and routine. And that's what I'm trying to build for me, is I can have that anywhere I want.
So do you have any other homes around the world?
No, so actually
Bulgaria?
in Iran, I have a place. My wife's Iranian, so we have a place there. We're actually building a place there as well. So we're actually building this year, so from scratch. I'm out in May. And I'm looking, my next place will probably be Spain. I'm half Spanish, so I have old family from Spain. So it'd be nice to go there.
Yeah, Spain is a pretty nice place.
Spain is nice, but it's too slow, it's too quiet. I love Bulgaria. There's more hunger here, there's more drive. I want to work here.
I'm sure that people that watch this video now will probably ask the question, why did you come to Bulgaria? What are your plans for Bulgaria? And are you planning on moving for good here?
I'll keep it short. So I came to Bulgaria initially because this country is incredible for what I see is going to happen over the next 10 years. The world at the moment is in a bit of a mess. I could move anywhere in the world. I've looked at Dubai, I've looked at America, I've looked at Iran, I've looked at other places in Europe, Spain, Greece. Taxes are pretty good in some of those countries. The countries are supposed to be great. But what I see in Bulgaria is a country full of people that are hungry, are driven, and are very much on an upward trajectory. The young guys here, they're super driven. I'm hiring lots of young Bulgarians, and they're amazed at the fact that they've got this opportunity. They're working hard. They're so driven because they seem like they've not had the opportunity that some of the Western countries have had. And since coming here just from a security reason, because I feel like if I have a few places dotted around the world, if anything goes wrong in one of those countries, I can take myself and my family to another country and make sure that they're secure, because that's my first priority, is my family. And Bulgaria, the people here, if things and government start to try and control them too much, the men here stand up a lot more than they do in other countries. And that's what I love about these guys here. Like, even through like lockdown, all those other things, Bulgarians weren't happy about it.
We were resisting.
They're resisting.
Really hard.
The UK, they just took it. The men there just took it. And that scared me a bit. So that really, really made me love what I've seen in Bulgaria so far. And then I've just coming here, the people have been so kind. The place is gorgeous. And one thing that I just want to reiterate to a lot of people watching this is that I meet so many of you young guys that are trying to leave Bulgaria to build a better life, when honestly, I can live anywhere in the world and I'm trying to move things here because I see how much opportunity is here. The digital world is here. You guys can make money from your phone, from your laptop. It's amazing. You've got opportunities that your parents didn't have, that your grandparents didn't have. So if they're giving you the advice to leave, their information is outdated, their knowledge is outdated, right?
For sure. Yeah, I've been there, so I can tell this from my own experience. I've been told that if I go abroad, then I will have a better life, that I will succeed, and that there is no future in Bulgaria. That's why I moved to Denmark years ago. I've been also to your country for several months to work there. And this was the lie that was told to me, and I believed it. But then after a few years in Denmark, I realized it's stupid that I'm not in Bulgaria, because obviously Bulgaria is not where we want it to be, but exactly because of this reason, we can change the narrative and we can do something different that would actually help us succeed, and that would actually put us on the top and would bring the success we want, because we don't want just money. At least I don't want just money. I want to know that not that I only succeeded, but the people around me as well, my family, my nation, and everybody who watches me. And so it's really inspirational that you, as a British citizen, come here and you want to invest and you want to build up something here, because I'm sure that this would help many of our viewers to realize that there is future in Bulgaria. Because if you, as a foreigner, come here and you see the potential in Bulgaria, which is very wise, that's why your family name is wise though, like it's really cool, because I like a lot of your family name, it comes from wisdom. You're really smart about it, and what you said, I really agree on it, and I really, I would say it, I can't wait to see what you will build.
I can't wait. And just to wrap up as well on this particular subject, I've recently hired 5 young Bulgarians. Those 5 young Bulgarians were in different countries, studying in Germany, one was in England, there's a couple of other places in Europe.
And they came back.
They've all come back home because they can now make money and they can build a life using a skill set that they've never was available to them 15, 20 years ago. And Bulgaria is growing, the economy is getting better, people like me are moving here, money's coming in. Please don't run away. And they're here now, they're able to support their family with rent. They're able to actually build a life here. They're able to actually invest back into the country, which is making the country stronger. So you guys staying here and actually building this thing up, using new technology, is helping your fellow people, helping the country. And that will draw more people in, that will enable less people to leave. And then this whole snowball effect of this country getting better and stronger will start to occur. That's a bloody awesome.
And I believe that it will happen.
It will do.
What's the fun fact there? Actually, I think I've told you about it, but I'm a spiritual person, and there are even a lot of prophecies for Bulgaria that it will become one of the best countries in the world, the best places to live at.
It has all of the potential to do that, providing people actually wake up and realize it. If we can do a good job, you and I, we can make things like that happen. And like I said, it's up to guys behind the camera today to make that decision on whether or not they're going to take advantage of that opportunity, or they're going to wait until they're 80 and regret that they never did. Because there's going to be a lot of you that do and a lot of you that don't, and you can decide which one you're going to be.
I think we should move on.
Yep.
Today you want to check some cars.
Well, yeah. You know me, Rado, I love my cars, and now I'm here a bit more permanently.
Supercars.
I have
Lamborghini.
I have a Lamborghini at home, Performante. I have a Bentley Continental GT, the new one. I have a G-Wagon GCC3, the new one.
You rode it recently?
No, we've had that for a little while.
Okay.
I have a Range Rover Vogue. I don't know.
Only about 2 cars. so you show probably 2 of your favorite cars. Mostly on Instagram, which is a Lamborghini.
So. It's hard to pick which one to show. Like I'm not always out, but no, my favorite car to drive on a daily basis is my Bentley. Okay. So I think today we might have to go and see what's in the car dealership. Get some Bentleys, maybe.
Let's go then. Okay, so this is the car that you're gonna test. A red Bentley. Looks amazing.
That's incredible. I've got one of these at home, but I asked them to bring this out because this is insane. This is a speed edition. So it's a Bentley Continental GT. So it's a Grand Tourer, which basically means it's like a supercar speed, but it's for Grand Touring, for like long distances. So it's super comfortable. It's like a granddad's armchair, but it's a rocket ship. And Bentley style their cars better than anyone. The interior of this thing is insane. It's absolutely stunning. It's got the black back on it as well, so all the chrome's been removed. It's an absolutely stunning car. It's convertible as well, so interfere with the weather's like this.
Perfect for the weather.
Insane.
Сега сме тук с Александър Костов от ММ Auto и би ли ни обясни малко повече за Бентлито?
Здравейте! Така, това е Bentley Continental GTC V8 Speed, 550 коня. Има уникален цвят, керамични спирачки, звука, понеже Speed е брутален в генерацията, който излиза. Също така колата е за продан и е в перфектно състояние, почти нова, около 5000 км. Продава се за около 240 000 евро без ДДС.
Коя е годината на колата?
2022 година. Както казах, вече в отлично състояние. Може би най-доброто от Bentley.
Много добре. Ами време да се качим в нея. Ще свалим, мисля, тавана. Все пак е слънчево днес, така че няма как.
Кабрио.
Айде.
Feels good to be alive, man.
Oh yeah.
This is honestly
Perfect weather, perfect car.
perfect weather. Like, look, I am so grateful to my younger self for the work that I put in. Like, if I hadn't sacrificed everything through my 20s, this wouldn't be possible. People just see, I don't want people to see this thing and think, well, it's easy, like you can just do it overnight. This is like a lifetime's worth of work, and it's accumulated to this, but it just shows what you can have. I'm still young, I still got my health, touch wood, still got, I'm living it now, and I'm also enjoying my money too. You don't want to be wasting your whole life never spending or enjoying the money to get to 80, then to not be in a physical state or in a mental state to want to even enjoy it. You got to enjoy the journey and reward yourself along the way, and that's exactly what you're doing with good people. And we're all doing this, enjoying it together. It's a Tuesday afternoon, and we're driving in sunny Bulgaria in a bloody Bentley that we're about to hopefully buy.
Amazing. Life is full of opportunities.
Life is so full of opportunities, but you've got to work for it. You've got to put in the sacrifice, the dedication, the effort, and have belief in yourself that you are able to do it. It's incredible.
I have to say thank you for this experience, because to be honest, I don't feel yet to be there, you know, at this level, to be able to go and do even test driving for such car, because it's really expensive. I have an expensive car as well, but not that expensive. So for me there is some kind of mind barrier that I'm still not able to afford this, and I'm still not able to go into such car. So this experience now, it feels on a whole different level. It opens your mind.
Just being around it will change where you think is possible. It's like if you're in the gym and your dumbbells only go up to 60 pounds or 60 kilos, and then you go to a gym where they go up to 80, all of a sudden you lift more because you see people lifting more, you see what's possible. Build a network of people that are so far ahead of you. Always be the dumbest person in the room. Always be the poorest person in the room. When you go to the dealership now, this will feel more normal to you because you've been around people that are doing it. It doesn't feel unnatural. You don't feel like an imposter. You see it's completely possible. I'm just human. I'm a human being, just like every other human being that has money, that has success, that has wealth, that has a good family. It's just a human being. And if you realize that and you're around it, surround yourself with it. Get into networking groups, get online. Try and be around good people. Go to the car dealerships. See the people that are there. Chat to the people that are selling the cars. They'll open up your mind, and all of a sudden you'll act as if you are that person, and you'll make decisions which are in line with someone that would make those decisions. You need to become the person that you want to be, right? You have to become that person.
Man. So true. After this experience and everything that our viewers saw in this video, they probably ask themselves, how did you get started with making money, and what are you doing now?
Well, the UK a long time ago, I was 13, had a web design company. So I was a geek, massive geek as a kid. I was a bit chubby, I loved coding, I loved Warhammer painting figurines. I made a Warhammer website, so I used to paint little soldiers, and I made a website because I basically was like, well, the internet came into fruition. The internet became a thing. It's very similar to how Bulgaria is now, the England was back then. This is like...
We're always back, like 2-3 years back.
So you have the internet, but people aren't using it, and no one was using the internet back then. And I thought, well, do you know what, it'd be nice to build a website. So I built a Warhammer website. I thought, do you know what? Every business is going to need one of these things, and every business is going to need to show their products and services off on this thing. I didn't think about selling online at this point because I didn't know that was something you could do. But I thought, right, if I learn how to build a website, which I did, I can sell them. So I asked everyone. I asked my friends, my family, my teachers, my school, my friends' parents, everyone. And I eventually found someone who said agreed. I think just because I asked so many people. I paid me £300 to build them a website for their switches and sockets. You know, light switches and sockets.
That sounds like a good salary.
It was very good. I was shocked. It took me 6 months to build their website, right? It probably cost me hundreds of hours, but I learned so much.
HTML, CSS coding.
Yeah, HTML, CSS. Started a bit of JavaScript. I bought books. YouTube wasn't a thing back then. I was learning. And I was hooked at that point. That client is still a client of mine today.
No way.
Yeah, I still do their web design and marketing today. And then basically what happened was I was doing it through secondary school. Like I was 13, and then at 16 I started up selling online. And like I said, this was all a big opportunity because this was all just a new thing.
So at 16, you already started doing online business, kind of.
Yeah, so I had the web design marketing company. I was selling more of those. So I was selling more and more websites. I was doing that up until 16. Okay. And then I decided, well, I want to start selling online. There's this new whole thing where people can buy these things online.
Items, not
selling
service.
items, yeah. And it's the same way Bulgaria is right now, where people here are still scared to put their card details in online, right? There's still that whole, and people aren't really using e-commerce, but they're starting to. So we're mentoring people all over the place now. I'll get to that in a bit, where e-commerce is now becoming a big thing in Eastern Europe. There's so much money there. But this was back then. I started selling lighting. I partnered up with someone who could source the lighting. We went 50-50 on the business, and I started trying to sell it. No luck. Just build a website, put the stuff on there. I hired a couple of people in my class to help me. I made a guy train himself in graphics. I made another guy train himself in some coding. I dealt with my business partner, got all the stock and everything, and we uploaded everything over about 3 months. Turned the website on, no sales. I was like, what am I doing wrong? I got so excited.
You're expecting that it will explode, having in mind that there is no alternative.
Of course. Oh, I need to market. So then I got really obsessed with marketing. I bought a book called How to Market, Google AdWords for Dummies, it was called. It was a black and yellow book, and I read that on a holiday. Made loads of notes in there, and I was one of the first people to do Google AdWords, which is basically where you pay Google to put your search term at the top. And I was one of the first people, and it was so cheap to market. All of a sudden, I ran some ads that I learned from the book. I started making money. Wow, okay, this is good. And then I scaled that up, and I learned, and I got more resources, and I learned more and more and more. And within a year, I was just over 17. I had a warehouse, 2 warehouses in just outside of London. I had 5 members of staff. I had 2 people in the office on phones, 3 people packing orders.
Crazy. This means in 1 year.
In 1 year.
You did that.
1 year. By the time I was 19, I was a millionaire.
What?
Yeah.
When you were 19, you were already a millionaire.
Yeah. We were turning over, the website was turning over about 3 million a year. We were working on about 35 to 40% margins. So that means that every million we're making that. And then I remember I was still at my mum's house, and I was actually at university at the time. I did economics at university, went to a good university. So I was running 2 businesses because I still had my web design clients. I had my lighting e-commerce retailer. I was doing an economics degree, and I was training twice a day. And still going
twice
out
a day.
fun. Yeah, because I thought that's what I needed to do. So I was trying to get women.
How did you feel when you were going to your classmates? Because you were still in university, right?
Yeah.
You go there, you're already millionaire at 19. Probably feels really weird.
No, because I was always intolerant of where I was at. I always knew that I was supposed to do more, and I was sacrificing all of my time to get there. Because I felt like you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you deserve. And I was putting in the work. Like, I was really putting in the work. And I still felt like I wasn't anywhere near where I needed to be. And I'm not saying this to brag, but I had these things because I was putting in the work to get there, and I was taking advantage of the opportunity that I had in front of me. And it's exactly the same as it is here right now. So when I came to Bulgaria and I saw this opening up again, it took me back to that point. I was like, this can happen all over again here, and I can help people do that here. Yeah. So then, I mean, I had a Porsche 911 Turbo at university, and I was still living with my mum at the time, right?
Almost every boy.
Yeah, I had a 911 Turbo Sport. Love that car. It was tan leather interior, black. Oh man, love that car. And then I got back home from university. I got a 2-1, which is just a 1 away from the top level degree in economics. And I said to my mum, my mum doesn't come have any. I don't come from money. My mum doesn't have a lot of money. My dad doesn't have a lot of money. So I said to her, like, if you let me stay at home, we lived in a very, very small house. Don't let me pay rent, but I promise you, I'll save every penny and I'll buy a house as fast as possible. And that could be, if you want to support me, that would be the best thing that you could possibly do. She said, okay, son, like, she's always supported me with everything. So you just work.
Because in England, as far as I know, when you turn 18 or 19, you have to start paying rent.
Well, normally, like most parents ask you to start paying rent if you're
To them.
living. Yeah, to them. But she knew that I was working hard, and I already had a lot of money. So, but in the UK, I had to have I was looking for a very nice house. I didn't want to buy a crap one. So I ended up buying a pretty expensive house about 6 months after moving back with my mum. And I paid most of it in cash. But I had to sell my Porsche to buy the car, right? I had to sell my Porsche to buy the car. And I didn't have a lot of cash as well, just pumping money back into stock for the business. And I was fueling the business, putting everything into the business.
It's really important because many people think that when you start business and in the best case scenario you start earning money and this business is on profit, they would buy everything they wanted and that's it. You have to invest back.
So I was doing both, right? I still had the nice car, so I was still treating myself, but I was not starving the business of oxygen, the money. And you can do both, and I advise people to do both. Like I said, you don't want to be in your 80s, never having used any of your money, never experienced it. So then, I then bought my own house. I then upgraded to a Bentley quite quickly after that and had a Range Rover, and I was loving life. I'll fast forward this. So that went really well. I ended up actually getting scammed by that business partner, but that's probably a conversation for another day. That business went under, so I ended up losing everything, pretty much. I moved back in with my mum, I rented my house out, and I decided to start up a marketing agency. So I actually started to market for other businesses.
You're still running it to this day, right?
Yeah, still run it to this day. That became enormous in 3 months because I just used all the skill sets that I learned in e-commerce. E-commerce teaches you how to market, it teaches you logistics of sending products out, ordering products in, stocking. It teaches you staff management, it teaches you fulfillment, customer sales services, everything, pricing, the whole lot. So then I was like, well, I can use these skills to then start helping other people sell online, anything. And that scaled up. I worked for Harrods, worked for big gym manufacturing companies, I worked with some of the biggest recruitment companies on the planet, you know, and that's been amazing. I ended up marrying my wife. I'm going through this quite quickly because I don't want to bore everyone, but if you want to learn more about me, you can kind of dig into my socials. My wife's my wife's a doctor. I moved up to north of England with her, and while I was with her, I started buying houses because I got a bit bored where I was at. Started buying those. I bought a big property portfolio as well. So I was adding all of these things on to my income stream. And then I was renting out to students, and I started buying, I think, bought about 10 houses in the end while I was at university, and started renting those out to students.
Why were you still in university?
Yeah, so my idea was, what I wanted to do was get myself to a point where I could have enough passive income, which is basically income where I'm not having to put direct work into it, it's paying itself. So like rent, the house is there, someone's in it, they're paying you rent every month. There shouldn't be much work involved. I wanted to have enough passive income to support my life. So my overheads, my car rent, my anything that, so all my fixed costs. So I thought if I ever stop work, this money here will just cover my life, so I don't have to worry. That was a goal. So I did that. That's why I had enough houses to basically save.
You did that?
Yeah.
Okay, what age?
That
90?
was 23, 24, so I've gone ahead a little bit here.
Okay, and that's the goal for me as well.
Yeah, so it's nice to have enough passive income so you know that if anything, God forbid, happened, your family's supported, that nothing has to stop, everything's paid for, because that money coming in covers that. Anything you earn in business then is a bonus, and you can take more risks.
Yes.
Because you don't, there's not, the downside is, well, if I lose all of those businesses, I've still got my life. Nothing has to change. Obviously, as you start spending more in your life, you have to accumulate more passive income, but you keep putting wealth back into your assets. My wife ended up becoming a doctor. She now works part-time as a part-time doctor, and she has her own aesthetics clinic, which I helped her build. That's now enormous, so we do that together. And then pre-COVID, I started mentoring people. I started helping, I found that and I still do, I work for some of the biggest companies in the world. I help them market their businesses, and you know, we do really well out of that. But what I really love is helping people that don't necessarily know where they're going in life or have a small business become bigger and better. Teach them the things that I learned. The things that took me 10 years to learn, I can teach them in 3 months. And I've started making some very uneducated people, some people that really were lost, that were really struggling in their business, very wealthy. And more than that, they're able to change their lives, able to support their family. I had a phone call from one of my mentees. He phoned me up once, he was crying. I said, "Hey, mate, I said, you okay, Nick?" He went, "Man, I've just been to the supermarket. It's the first time I could go and I could buy the things off the shelf without looking at the price tag. and I just wanted to thank you. You changed my life, and I was hooked at that point. I was like, I want to help as many people as I can build this. And since then, that's launched. I've built a university. I now have mentors that are crushing it in their space. So if someone wants to do e-com, they get mentored by the best e-com people in the space, so that you're being mentored by someone that's been there and done it, and they can take you to the place that took me 10 years and all of those issues and being stung by business partners and losing loads of money. We can help you avoid that and make money very quickly. I'm scaling that out, and now I'm here in Bulgaria because I see the opportunity here. In the Balkans, it's just mad. I've just told you about this today. There's going to be so much wealth created here over the next 10 years. Because
Bulgaria, Romania, and the countries.
I think Bulgaria is so untapped. I think there's so many people here that are about to take advantage of it. And I'm here to help people do that. I know you're here to help people do that. More than anything, inspire people to do that. And it's crazy. So yeah, my journey's been pretty nuts. I now mentor. I have some big businesses all around the world, some of which I can't talk about. I'd have some massive business partners, 8-figure businesses in Dubai, the Middle East, businesses in Iran.
You're also running your own e-commerce businesses?
Oh, I now have lots of e-commerce businesses, dropshipping companies, stock ones at home.
Because you already went through the process a lot of times and you helped others to go through.
I start up e-commerce stores. I start up e-commerce stores every month.
You start e-commerce stores every month?
Wow. I'm collecting them and then I'm packaging them to sell them. So I have an equity company I work with. So when we build a new e-commerce business, if I think it's going to go really well in a couple of years, I'll start to build it so that I build all the metrics so it can be sold and packaged.
And you have a team that's actually building these stores with you.
Yeah, right? And they also help the mentees. So I basically thought, well, how can I help people as much as possible? I'll hire a team that's really good at doing a lot of the hard and heavy lifting, and then I'll have the mentees come on and benefit from them helping them set things up and move things forward faster. So then I can spin up stores fast, they can spin up stores fast, and everyone wins. Product research, supplier research, marketing research. Yeah, I love it. I just really want to help as many people feast. There's so much money out there and everyone can do well. People are so naive, they think that there's only enough money for a few people. Like they try and stop other people from earning it. That's absolute rubbish.
And this is what we talked during the driving. And I really like your attitude and how you see the things, because many people, especially in Bulgaria, as far as I know and what I've seen, this opinion is based on what I've seen, is that many rich people in Bulgaria, they want to be on the top and put everybody else around them down and crush them. Like even their employees and their friends and their even siblings, which is crazy. While what you say, I really like is that you want to bring all your friends and all the people around you with you on the top, so you can feast together, as you say.
What you have to remember is you have to be ruthless and you have to be aggressive, but that's your competition. It's hard out there.
Not to the people
it's really hard there, but you need to love and care and look after the people that are in your camp. You need to have an army behind you so you can go out and battle. Don't crush your own people, crush your enemy. You can fight anyone else in the world. Why the hell would you crush and hurt and fight with your team? Love, cherish them. Let them have the spoils of the war. Let them feast with you. As I said to you, nothing would be worse than getting to 80 years old, having conquered business, sitting in a hall on your own, having dinner, with no one around you to talk to, no one that cares about you, because you've driven everyone else away and you crushed them. Versus sitting in that hall with everyone that you did it with, feasting together, sharing stories. That's what it's all about. That's what you're doing it for. So make those people come with you, and you can crush everyone else together.
I absolutely agree. Thank you for sharing that. Now it's time to go for training. We have to crush those muscles because
I'm getting skinny.
You've been trying to get skinnier to lose muscle.
Yeah.
Because you've been really huge in the
I was
past.
a big boy. I was a big boy.
You were a big boy. I'm trying to put on muscle, but for me it's quite
I'm trying
hard.
to lose. I haven't eaten anything yet today. I ate about 1 meal a day.
You haven't eaten anything yet?
No, I won't eat anything. We'll train and then I'll eat after.
Okay, I had a really small breakfast. I'm currently hungry, but anyways, we'll go to
I'm always
train
hungry.
and then we'll get really nice burgers.
Okay.
You would love them. Let's go.
Sounds good.
I have some present for you.
Car,
My clothing brand
clothes,
images.
all on the same day.
Oh yes.
Like Christmas.
I know you like black, so I have black t-shirt from you. This is a new style of t-shirts
Love
that
it.
we have. It's an oversized one. Actually, same as mine.
Love
If you would like it.
I do like
Of course, if you would like to show off your muscles, then we have the tank top.
No.
These are shorts and another oversized t-shirt.
This is a Sherpa hoodie for England. For now, here in Bulgaria, you know the temperature is getting higher, so you don't.
Yeah, but it's a pump cover.
Whoa.
Oh wow!
Okay, look at it.
Damn.
It will be perfect for the British weather.
You know my wife's gonna steal this, right? I'll be sitting there. She'll be like,
I don't mind.
Wow,
It's really comfy.
that's very nice, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you too. I hope you would like them. And of course, we have the socks and some underwear. A white one.
Right, better not lift too heavy today then.
So you don't shit it, yeah? No, we will not lift that heavy. So what would you like to put? Maybe the
I'm gonna
shorts?
go oversized.
Oversized today?
Oversized today.
Okay.
You've already seen enough of my biceps. And then we'll go shorts.
Okay. Shorts and oversized t-shirt.
Yeah, and we go socks.
Perfect. В момента сме пред фитнеса, време е за тренировка и сега ще дам на Елиот този pre-workout на Jim Beam. Тор pre-workout, знаете, това е pre-workout, който използвам вече 6 години. Много е добър, има много добри съставки и то в достатъчни количества. Така че сега да видим как ще му подейства и на него, макар че той като го гледа така, толкова pre-workout съм сигурен, че е пил, че... You had many pre-workouts during the years, right?
Loads.
Okay.
I love them.
You would share with us about your bodybuilding career because that would be interesting. His goal currently is to size down, to get smaller, which is crazy. Nobody wants to get smaller. Why do you want to get smaller? Please
I was walking around at 20 kilos heavier than I am now. And I've got a wife, kids. My goal is business and making money. And when your whole focus is on just trying to get bigger. I was eating 8 meals a day. I was training in the gym sometimes twice a day or 2 or 3 hours a day. Every single session would absolutely destroy me. So I'd be unproductive at work. I'm also doing a lot more stuff where I'm dealing with very big business people. They judge the way you look. I have to be seen to be a certain way, which is important. Like the way we dress and the way we act and the way we look tells people a lot about who you are as a person. So it's really important that you dress in a way that you want to be treated. You look the way you want to be treated. Yes, I still want to be better than the average guy. I love being muscular. I want to be good looking naked. I want to feel confident in my body, but I also need to be respected by businessmen. I need to look good on camera. I need to have all these things, and I need my body serving me. For all my life, I've been putting everything into my body and giving it everything and taking away from my relationships, my energy from my kids, my energy from my wife, my energy from my friends, my business, everything. Now, my body needs to serve me. I need to wake up every day feeling good, feeling confident, looking good, and for me that's being slightly smaller. So I'm still 95, 96 kilos. I think I'll get down to about 90. That's still pretty big. You know, when I'm pumped and I still look good in the gym, that's fine, but I still look good in a suit. I'm going to live longer, I feel great. You know, that's what I'm going for. I think that's really important.
How long you've been training for?
I've been training now for 18 years.
18 years.
Yeah, I started at 15. I'm now 33 this month, next couple of weeks. And then, yeah, that's my age, if you didn't know.
33?
33 in a couple of days, well, 21st of April. Yeah, so I've been training since I was 15. I took it very seriously through my 20s. I mean,
Have you been to any bodybuilding shows?
I did a bodybuilding show in 2015. I did a classic physique. I did
So you were massive.
Yeah, I was
We
good.
can put some shots on the
Yeah,
screen.
I'll put some shots on. I was 115 kilos lean. I was a big lean.
Crazy.
I was eating. I did everything. I've done everything you possibly can in bodybuilding. I trained with pro bodybuilders. Trained with Jordan Peters, Hassan Hirati, James Hollingshead, who just competed in the Olympia. I used to train there with my training partners.
Wow.
So I was around. Whatever I've always done in my life is anything that I'm trying to get better in, I'll surround myself with the best people I possibly can find in that thing, and I will give them as much value as I possibly can so they give me a seat at their table. If you want to network with people, one big advice that I can give you is always try and see what you can give that person first before you ask anything from them. Always. If you want to sit at Rado's table, my table, it's going to be very difficult to do that if you just ask for something, you know? Think about what you can give them, and I've always figured out a way, whether it be helping with their marketing, helping them with anything, lifting their luggage, whatever I could do to help them. Work for them for free, and they'll be much more likely to give you a seat in their network. Always give first before you ask to receive.
Many
Always.
people want to receive first so that they can give. This actually a message we received a few days ago. I personally received it from a guy who was saying, Rado, you have money, you have sponsorships, can you help me with money and sponsorships so I can start doing YouTube? Can you imagine? Like, he wants to receive all of the bonuses you get after you put in the work, years of work, before he even put any kind of work.
Well, anyone watching this right now, ask yourself this question. If someone were to message you on Instagram right now and ask you for your time, your money, your energy, and we're offering nothing in return, what would you say? That's what you'd be doing to someone else who's vastly more successful that doesn't need your help. So if you want something from someone and you want to make networking, think about what skill, can you offer them? And if you've got nothing, go out and work on that thing. Get better, improve yourself as a man. Get better at something so that you can then offer that to someone. And you can sit at their table. That's how I've been able to leapfrog into different places very quickly. And I sit at the biggest tables that really I didn't have any right to be there at. And then all of a sudden doors and opportunities arise because I've helped these people then want to help you. The most successful people on the planet will always be the most supportive people, but you can't expect them to just give you something for nothing. Always go in with the mindset of what can I give first.
Exactly.
That's a great pre-workout, by the way.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Let's hit it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the beast back, adrenaline pumping through my veins, can't relax. Original, I am not the same as these cats. I sting them if they never ever mind and they beeswax.
Today we'll do a pull workout. We'll start with Romanian deadlifts, target the hamstrings, then we go for a few back exercises and then biceps, of course. Времето се затопля, така че течен талк става задължителен. Този е от Jim Beam, много е достъпен като цена. О, ето и Елиот малко. Да, цена. Просто като започне да се затопля времето, всички уреди, дъмбели, лостове стават супер мазни и това просто е задължително да го имате.
Let's go. And I'm getting hotter too. Talking top two, I'm not a two. You let the pressure bother you and I do what I gotta do. Let's go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Go hard.
Преминаваме към завършване на тренировката. Завършваме с бицепс, като тук отново ще направим една готина супер серия. Сгъване, чуково сгъване с дъмбели и също така стандартно сгъване на скрипец с кабел, с стандартното лоще и бицепсите би трябвало да гръмнат. So you lost around 20 kilos of muscle mass, basically.
And I'm a bit fatter than I was as well, or quite a bit fatter. I was leaner and bigger. Like I said, for me, this is much healthier. I feel better.
Oh, yeah.
It's still about looking good, but also being able to live your life and enjoy it too. Like, there's no point building an empire and not getting to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Stay dedicated, stay sacrificed, but also try and enjoy things. If everything is completely extreme, you have to go through periods in your life where you are laser focused, but not decades. Maybe a year, maybe a couple of years. But you've got to enjoy some things along the way. And if that means maybe not being 100% shredded, but that also means that you have a better relationship with your wife, your kids, your friends, your business partners. That's not a bad thing either.
I think that bodybuilders, the heavy ones especially, they sacrifice a lot from all these
everything
things.
You do.
You
sacrifice everything. And it's really hard to be a well-balanced man in today's society if you only focus on just one area of your life. You leave a lot on the table.
That's why I lost my good shape. Because years ago, I looked a little bit better than now. But
you still look incredible, man.
You have to sacrifice something.
We went to Romania because we launched Limited University in Romania. He and I went, we were like, right, we've got to film for 4 days straight. We slept a total of about 7 hours over 4 nights. Yeah. We ate no food. I mean, we probably had like 3 or 4 meals. We had crisps and stuff. Yeah.
So let's explain who's this other jacked guy.
This is Matthias. He is a very close friend of mine. He's a previous mentee. I've helped him build his very successful coaching business in Romania. And now we are launched, we're helping a load of other people in Romania do the same.
Exactly.
And he's a very inspiring guy, crazy arms. He's hoping to go to the Olympia this year.
You're competing in men's physique, right?
Yes, yeah.
Men's physique,
Show some biceps,
Pro.
man.
Hopefully I aim to compete in September this year again.
Okay.
And we qualify.
Yeah, so September this year, hopefully compete.
Окей, сега отиваме да ги заведа на едно място, което много харесвам. Това не е платена реклама. Тук има, бих казал, едни от най-добрите бургери в София. Място се казва Ивенда. И тук хапнете ли бургер? Мисля, че няма да искате да ядете някъде другаде бургер, поне за мен е по този начин. По-скъпи са, но има защо. Така че, окей, guys, let's go and get some nice burgers with very nice meat. So these burgers, you will love them. Of course, I got the biggest one with 300 grams of meat, 300 грам месо. Този бургер е огромен. Те са с по-малко. Why do you guys have these small burgers, especially you? It's really small.
Kind of downsized, I told you that already.
Okay, and you haven't eaten anything.
I haven't eaten anything yet today. This is my first meal.
Okay, I'm very hungry.
10 to 4, nearly 4 o'clock.
And I even got fries, maybe that's why I'm still not as lean as you. Wow. And especially as this guy. Okay, I want you to try the burgers and let me know what you think.
This is gonna go down well. Wow. That is very, very, very nice.
След като хапнахме бургерите, всеки се прибрава вкъщи. Аз се надявах да успея да почина, защото честно да ви кажа, от джегата, от тренировката и от целия фокус върху снимането се почувствах доста изморен след тренировка, но уви не успях да го направя, защото се занимавах с работни ангажименти и за съжаление такива работни проблеми, тъй като днес се оказа, че имаме много сериозен технически проблем, който се е случил уикенда или вчера, в понеделник, не знам аз кога, но днес много клиенти са получили дублирани пратки. В момента сме в пролетна разпродажба и това, което се е случило, че поради този технически проблем много от клиентите са получили по 2 еднакви пратки днес, а не една, както са поръчали. И представете си какво маза остава. От еконт се разцепват да ни звънят, да ни търсят, за да съобщават за проблема, да ни питат какво да правят, клиентите се оплакват. Някаква лудница. Като си погледнах телефона, защото аз си го бях изключил, за да не се тормозя, просто имах толкова много пропуснати обаждания и съобщения, че ми стана лошо и колегите направо им е гръмнала главата. Проблеми да има, както се казва. До сега не се беше случило такъв проблем, между другото, много неприятен проблем, така че ако вие сте засегнати под някаква форма, извинявам се за причинението на удобство, наистина до момента не се е случило. Работим с външна фирма, която складира и изпраща нашите продукти и нещо е станало с тяхната система. Целият този проблем е много неприятен, защото това е много голям разход, особено за склада, защото те сега трябва да си покрият връщането на всички тези дублирани пратки, така че за никой не е готино, но какво да правиш в бизнеса е неизбежно да няма проблеми. Просто това е част от играта. Не е лесно, случват се такива неща. Идеята е да не се повтарят за бъдеще, защото тогава означава, че хората не си взимаме поука от грешките. В момента пътувам към събитието, за което ви споменах, бизнес тая, на което днес Елиот ще бъде гост-говорител. Това е един формат, наречен бизнес тая, организира се от Максим, за който вече ви споменах. Предполагам вече го знаете, защото съм ви го показал и сме говорили малко в този канал за него, но това е събитие, което той организира, което се провежда веднъж всеки месец. Аз съм си взел абонамент за цялата 2024 година. Всеки месец има едно такова събитие с гост-говорител. Наживо се събираме определена група от хора, които сме си взели такъв абонамент, или пък просто еднократно, който иска може да си вземе, разбира се, за едно от тези събития. Имаме вечеря, имаме целият нетворкинг с тези хора, които сме си взели абонамента и сме там на място и съответно слушаме разговор на живо с гост-говорителя. Всички тези разговори се излъчват така или иначе в канала на Максим, към който, както и по-рано казах, ще оставя линк долу в описанието под видеото. Може да гледате епизодите, които са качвани до момента с гост-говорителите, с които той е провеждал разговори, но е съвсем различно на живо, защото атмосферата е уникална и разбира се най-ценното е да можеш да провеждаш разговори с хората, които са там на място, защото по този начин изграждаш много контакти и се срещаш с хора, с които си заслужава да се срещнеш, защото това са хора, които градят нещо и правят нещо с живота си. Това е най-големия плюс, така че ако вие искате да присъствате на подобно събитие, мисля, че може да намерите в YouTube канала под епизодите как да се запишете и как да дойдете на място. Ще се радвам да се видим на едно от тези събития. Така че пътувам там. В момента имам страшно много трафик. Вече съм закъснял, защото в момента е 7:30. Трябваше 7:30 да бъда там. Така че това не е приятно, но какво да правиш? София бата.
Аз и гостя имаме разговор, който се записва за YouTube, за бизнес стаята ни в YouTube.
Rado, I went for a meeting with Rado, Yeah. He asked me the same question. I had to show him my passport. Was it? Yeah, it was. Okay,
I won't ask you for your passport, but my point is, it's a beautiful name. Wise. Wisdom. So...
Прибирам се обратно вкъщи и разговора беше изключително интересен и стойностен. А на вас благодаря ви за гледането на това видео. Време да приключим, защото така не стане изключително дълго. Вярвам, че ви беше изключително полезно и мотивиращо всичко, което видяхте във видеото. Ако е така, не забравяйте да дадете палец нагоре, абонирайте се за канала. Ако все още не сте, ще оставя линка в социалните мрежи на Елиот долу в описанието под видеото и ще се видим в някое друго видео. Peace!